will be given to you here. Please put your hands together. Clap, clap, clap.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank the organizers of this event for this opportunity. I have a few minutes, so I'll just jump right into it. I'm here to speak very briefly on building your career path. Now, that's a very big topic. It's something, we can talk about for days, but I have very few minutes. So I'll just speak on a few points, and then, we'll take it from there. Now, building your career path. First off, you need to know what you want in this space. And on the journey, to knowing what you want, you need to know who you are as a person, your personality, how do you relate with people, how do you react to stuff. For example, it's sales. You want to build a career in sales. A lot of the time, when we are looking at salespeople, now I've been in the HR space for almost 15 years now. So you are in that space and you want a career in sales. Most salespeople are very outgoing people. They're very welcoming people. They're very friendly people. So if you want a career in that space, you want to check yourself. Is this kind of person I am? Am I an introvert? So if you're very introverted, it might be a bit tricky to be in that space. That's why I mentioned knowing yourself when you're trying to build your career. Now, that's one. Then you need to pick a mentor in this space. So again, let's go to the sales example. You want a career in sales or any other space, accounting. You want to be a top accountant. You want to look for somebody in that space. Banking, the oil sector. You want to look for somebody in that space and find that person, make that person your mentoring. So these past few years is your CV, your resume is the first thing they meet before they meet you. And most employers, most recruiters will not spend more than 2 minutes looking at your CV. That first glance, they can already tell if this is the person we're looking for or no. Now, your CV, since you know that CV is the representation of you, is the first you they are going to meet, everything about that CV has to be not just detailed. Thank you for that. Not just detailed, but tailored to what you want or who you want to be or the job you want to get. Now, we can't go into so many details again because of the time. So your CV has to be up to date, has to be honest, because a lot of people say a lot of stuff that they cannot defend, and then you're interviewing them and you ask a question and they just can't defend what's in the CV. So that's another point. For people that are, if you're here and maybe you're job seeking or, you want to change your career path or you want some advice in that space, at any time, maybe during the break, you can step out and then we have people, counselors outside or people to help you with questions regarding, CV writing, getting a mentor, what path should I walk in that space regarding getting jobs. Now, for people that are looking to get the best hands in their space or in their organization, that's another thing, that we can help with. Back to building your career and then your career path, right? For people that you have found yourself in this space where you have been in a particular career space and it's just not working out, you don't know how to, break free from there, or you don't even know what you want. There are many instances where people do not know what they want. Is it the career that I'm doing this, but I feel like it's not working for me, or I've been in this space for so long and I'm not moving, I'm not able to move beyond this space. That's where the mentorship I talked about comes into play. I think they're giving me the sign. I have a few minutes, but I want to just thank you for this time. And any questions, we are outside to answer your questions. If you're looking for a job, you want to revamp your CV, we are here for you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Efe Ihege. A career counseling, a career mentor is always a very useful thing. Why go the long road when you have someone who can help you navigate? So thank you for coming here. All right, before we go into any other serious part of the event, I want us to have a little fun. Please get up. Are you cold? Are you cold? But some of you want to japa and small AC, your body is shaking. Please, can we get on our feet? Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little, please indulge me. We have young people here. I can see very young people here. Why are we doing like some people that their waist is already breaking? Oh yeah, let's shake body. Are you ready to shake your body? Media, are you ready for me? Me, I'm not a dancer. So we're going to play a song. We have gifts. Anything I tell you to do and you volunteer to do, don't worry. At the end of this event, I'll be handing out gifts to people. And I'll be handing out gifts to the people who volunteer. So please, I need 2 people that can know how to dance beside me. Where are those dancers? Please come. 1. Where's the second person? Oh yeah, let's dance. Come up to the stage. Come up to the stage. DJs. DJ Somi, please drop the song. I want you to show us. Oh yeah, give us dance steps. Hey. Push it to where is dancing.
Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up?
Where are the dancers in the group?
He really moves up. This is what it says. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right there. In times of trouble, he is my help. Yeah, I know no fear. I know he'll be right there. Hey, he really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Oh, hey, why would I doubt when he always comes through? My God really moves. Oh,
push it.
He really moves. Oh, we say, yeah. He really does what he says he will do.
Oh, if you think you can dance better, come out. If you think you can do better, come out. Please bring it down. The sound is really high. Put your hands together for the people that are dancing now. Let me hold your bag for you. I'll keep it here. All right. You're out. Are you ready? We're not done, no. Please, you're not watchers, or what do they call them? As they are dancing, you're supposed to be copying and dancing now, Burn calories now. All right, let's do this. Me, I'll just be by the side. I'll be controlling. Why are you hiding behind? Oh yeah. DJ Somi, drop it. Take it to where we can dance it now. What are all those challenges? All those challenge songs? All right, let's do it. DJ, this dance is waiting. Sorry? If you are not dancing, be clapping your hands. We have a gift, so the crowd will judge. Don't judge for your friend, though. Chai.
Yesterday, miracle.
paying attention. We're going to choose the winners. Miracle, no they time.
My eyes have seen and my ears have heard of the favor and the blessing of the Lord upon my life. Papa, you too much.
All right, I'm going to be removing people now. Should she stay? Should she stay? Thank you. Should she stay? Should he stay? He stays? They say no. These are my judges. Should he stay? Oh yeah, thank you. My judges will. Should he stay? Yes. Should she stay? No, yes. If you're for yes, say yes. All right, let's go. DJ, do you have another song? Say this one. Doing breakdance by the side. What happened to the stage?
Okay. I cannot relate, cause my father is not your little. He's not like us, baby, in the fight. All of them are worthless, and I know they laugh. Cause my father is bigger than every.
Hey! Come on now!
Because my father is bigger than every.
All right, because of time, thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Is she the winner? Is she the winner? Is she the winner? Is he the winner? Is he the winner? Is he the winner? Put your hands together for our winner. And thank you so much to all our participants. God bless you. God bless you. Are we awake now? Some people are still shaking. Canada is calling you. You better learn. All right. Where is my phone? We're going to do another challenge very soon. All of you that every time we come to the malls, we see you, you set your ring lights and your camera. Now come and dance. You don't want to dance. You never know who's watching you. All right. It's still WEEF 2024, and we're still talking about the wealthy woman. Here we're going to have first female leaders of conglomerates, first female leaders of nations. Are you hearing that? Where are the president aspirants? You're not clapping like you believe it. First husbands of the first ladies. That doesn't seem to have entered. First husband of the first lady. You don't think it's an aspiration? Some people are not clapping. They want to be president. They don't want to be the first husband of the first lady. All right. Okay. So we're going quickly into our next session. Emotions. Emotions are very vital parts of our lives. And every day when you come to Facebook, you see a lot of people. Please hide my identity. I am asking for my friend. When will we ask for ourselves? We're always asking for our friends. So this session we're going to have is going to handle all of those, please, moderator, hide my identity kind of issues. And to take us is a certified emotional intelligence and life coach with expertise in leadership and entrepreneurial mindset development. She has over 14 years of experience working across multiple disciplines with the capacity building space and has worked with private organizations, social enterprises, SMEs and non-profits, as well as partnering with public sector in delivering capacity building initiatives. She's an accredited management consultant and a fellow FIMCB with the International Management Consultant Board, IMCB, in the USA. Additionally, she possesses a certificate in entrepreneurial management, SEM 27, from the Enterprise Development Center. As an advocate of emotional intelligence, she's an emotional intelligence certified professional, EICP, an emotional intelligence certified coach, EICC, and also a certified life coach from Pulse Factory 6 Seconds partner in West Africa. She's passionate about people development with a strong focus on women and youth and wealth creation through enterprise development for the African continent. She believes that by working together, we can achieve transformational change that will positively impact our communities. To help us become wealthier in our emotions, please put your hands together as we invite Pastor Happiness Daniel Eze. You are not clapping. WEEF 2024, welcome Happiness Daniel Eze.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm glad to be here. Let's put our hands together for Diane and the WEEF team for another amazing time in 2024. Okay. Do you have my slides up now? Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the wealthy woman and her relationships, Diane Napa has done a very amazing work this morning. She has done a very fantastic job with helping you being able to identify as well as build your dreams. So today we're going to be taking it a step further to move beyond just building your dreams, to see how we can maximize relationships to be able to get us to where we need to be. Okay, so before I continue, I don't know, when I was talking to Diane about this event, I could see the passion in her heart to be able to see how more women. So it's women, the wealthy woman, but we have male and female here, right? So we are not just going to do women, right? We're going to make it cut across everyone, right? So we'll just say the wealthy person, right? Okay, so as we started this event, one of the passion which Diane has for this, which is driving one of the conversations we're having today, is the fact that despite the challenges we have around us, being wealthy is not majorly dependent on the external factors around you. It's about the choices you make and who you are, and the options you decide to consider, irrespective of what your background has to offer you. Okay, so I'm glad that I'm talking to young people, because this conversation I'm having started with me many years ago. I'm not one of those who was privileged to have the best of environments. When Napa was talking, she talked about foundation and how sometimes your foundations have a way of limiting you from being able to embrace opportunities or possibilities available to you in building your dream. How many of us heard that? Good. So I'm one of those who foundation was not in my favor to be where I am today. And I'm glad that I am where I am today, because despite foundations and what they have limited, I'm able to do what I'm able to do today. So we're going to be looking at the wealthy woman and relationships. Now, wealth, and when we say wealthy woman, it's not just about financial, it's not about finances. So if you're wealthy only in finances, you're not truly wealthy. Should I say that again? True wealth is beyond, I'm on the next slide. True wealth is beyond financials, it's beyond money. A lot of times in our context where we are, when we talk about wealth, the first thing that comes to mind is what? Is money. How much money you have, what you have in your account, what you can buy, the luxury you can enjoy because of the resources that we have. And I'm talking to young people. When we talk about fame, when we talk about hammering, what's the new slang they use for being wealthy now? Sorry? Hustling. Okay, that's the work you put in. What's the new slang for those that are wealthy? Sorry? Flow. Guide. Oh, really? Wow. I've lost track. What else? Hammer. Do you understand? Hammer. Do you understand? And it's the dream of every young person, right? To hammer. Who doesn't want to hammer? Who wants to hammer? Every young person wants to do what? Wants to hammer. So from our context, when we look at Africa and look at the environment we are in, the mindset, you know, based on my own experience, you know, working with people and when I deal with entrepreneurship and leadership, one of the things I look at, or one of the things I've been able to focus on, help people with a lot of times, is the mindset. Because if we get the mindset wrong, we get the outcome wrong. Should I say that again? If we get the mindset wrong, we get the outcome wrong. So if we get the mindset right, every other thing begins to fall into place. So when we talk about wealth, there's more to wealth than money. Well, in fact, wealth is an offshoot of other factors beyond money. So first thing is the mindset. You can be wealthy and you have a lot of money cash-wise, but you're very poor in your mindset and your mentality. There is the wealthy mindset. And then another area is health. Another area for be wealthy is your health. So you can own assets worth in billions, but one sickness can crash that whole asset in one day. How many of us have had that experience? Maybe your parents were very wealthy and somebody fell sick along the line and everything just went down the drain because, or you know somebody that has been there. Let me see your hands. Good. Everything just went down the drain. Why? Because health was not there. So they say health is also wealth. And then your spirituality. Your spirituality is the essence of who you are. And it actually influences your wealth. And then the next thing is your relationships. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And your emotions. You know, these things also build up the wealthy woman. And because I'm going to be talking to guys, we're going to see how we're going to balance it across board. So you can go to the next slide. So what is a relationship? So my topic today is the wealthy woman and her relationships. But we're also going to be looking at emotions and how emotions help you. Now, what are relationships? You know, I'm dealing with young people. When we talk about relationships, what do we mean? Interactions, fantastic. Is it in my slide? No. Okay, interactions. Because, you know, when we talk about relationships with young people, a lot of times when you're sampling, they tell you boyfriend and what, girlfriend, an intimate relationship with somebody. And so we define relationships as intimacy with somebody, but that's not what it is. Every form of connection, association, or involvement with people, with a group, with individual and entity is a relationship. So it's interaction. Like she said, it's how we connect, we communicate, and we influence within a space. And this is so critical for us. If you're going to, so someone who is going to build wealth, if you're going to be wealthy people, we must understand relationships. In fact, I once heard a wise man say that if you're poor in relationships, you're poor in everything. Should I say that again? If you're poor in relationships, you're poor in everything. Do you know what that means? It means that it's possible to have money, but you don't have relationships. And that money does not amount to something. You know, there are some doors that money will not open for you. How many of us know that? There are some situations you get to, it's not money you need. It's what? Who you do what? Who you know. So somebody can have so much money but doesn't know anybody. And he gets into a space and his money does not make any difference because it's not influencing anybody and it's not influencing anything. So there are different kind of relationships that we can have. And you know, we are living in a time where there is so much de-emphasis on relationships, especially with the introduction of social media and our phones. You know, one of the things that it does for us, what it does to us is that it makes us feel, what's the word? It makes us feel that, once we have a phone and we can connect with people online, we don't need what? Physical interactions. So a lot of people would rather stay in their homes and attend an event than come to a place and have to interact with people. So with the with the introduction of social media, relationship building is declining by the day. And we're having a lot of, outcomes as a result of that. Depression, people dying early and all that. And, a lot of things. And it's so bad in the West. In fact, in the African culture, one of the things that helps us in Africa is the fact that we have relationships and community. We take it for granted, but it's a strength. And we are gradually imbibing foreign culture where you don't have access or you don't even know relationships or manage relationships anymore. Once I can be by myself, I am what? I am fine. Now, there are different types of relationships. There are personal relationships. We'll be looking at that further down. There are professional relationships. There are business relationships. And there are social relationships. So you can build relationships across these areas. And there are many more. Now, how these relationships are built are defined by the kind of interactions that go on within those spaces. So when we talk about personal, we look at your family. We look at your close friend, maybe your spouse or your partner, that you're intimate with, maybe close friends, close friends, close family friends, and other. Professional, we look at those within the work environment, your colleagues, your bosses, your team members, and other. Then business, people you interact with in the course of executing business. Then social, different social groups or engagements that you're involved with. Across these areas, you're going to have to deal with relationship. Now, from all I've said, something is central to relationship. What is that? What is the determinant factor of saying that there is a relationship going somewhere? What is that? What's that? What's that? So people are what makes relationships. So once we say interactions, well, you're not going to be interacting with a wall. You're not going to be interacting with paper. You're going to be interacting with people. So the different kind of people you meet in different spaces and the kind of interactions that have to happen there is very critical to the journey of becoming a wealthy person. Because he that is wealthy with people is very wealthy indeed. Okay, we can go to my next slide. I'm not going to take so much of that. Next slide, please. Okay. So, good. So why are relationships important? Why are relationships important? I'm going to look at it from the woman first, and I'm going to look at it from, generally, because we have a mixed audience here. Now, relationships are important because as women, emotional support and connection is important to us. So a woman can be doing very well in everything. She has a very good business. She's making impact all over the place. But if there's an area of her life, of her relationship, especially personal relationship, that is not working, it can affect her ability to be able to give her best. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of us are students. How many of us have been served breakfast before? Do you know what is breakfast? Yes. How many of us have been served breakfast before? Okay, as the ladies. Okay. What did that do to you? Did it just affect the relationship involved, or it affected other things around you? Affected other things around you because we are, our emotional build-up is very, very high compared to the men. And so how well we thrive with relationships matter. In fact, when a woman enters the space, it's more about how she feels about the space than about the space. How many of us understand that? So it's the way they greeted you. It's the way she turned her hair. It's the way she spoke to you. A man enters a space and he's looking at the opportunity. He's looking at what I need to get there. For a woman, it's the connection. Do you understand? And then they say one of the ways we are able to deal with stress is by the quality of relationships that we have. So the more the better the quality of your relationships, the less stressful your life is. So when we talk about toxic relationships and toxic environments, so a woman's stress level can be reduced just by that connection. So there are times when, after work and all that, even in the workplace, how well you connect with people can be, a way to give you the drive and the motivation you need to work. How many of us work in a space where you don't like the people working there? Let me see your hand. You work in a space and you're not so excited about the people let me not use the word like. You're not so excited about the people you're working with. How does that fuel your energy when you're getting ready for work? It's draining. It's draining. So if the relationships are not working in that space, it's more draining because how you feel about the space is, do you understand, is as important as whatever you're going to be delivering in the space. And then health and well-being. Now, one of the reasons why they say women live longer than men, I'm going to come to general. One of the reasons why they say women live longer than men is that we've understood the art of building community. So we have more widows than we have widowers. When a woman is going down or woman is going through a lot of things or having a lot of challenges, one of the things that works for her is having an environment where she can share and express herself. So it's either maybe in the place of prayer, you're crying to God and you're talking to God, or you're talking to people. You know, you have that friend that you can call and say, hey, this is how my day went to, man. This thing is tiring. And you talk about it. Now, the more you express those things and you talk about it, the more you're able to relieve yourself from the tension and the pressure. So in talking about it, somebody just maybe cracks a jokes, gives you a word of encouragement and makes you feel better. But you know the thing about guys rarely talk about how they feel about certain things. Guys, am I right? You know, we bottle it up. It's more like competition. So a guy wants to brave up. The environment has told us as a guy, you have to brave up. You have to show that, you know, you are a man and you don't discuss challenges, you don't discuss emotion, you don't discuss how you feel. So we have more women live longer because of community and support that they build. And so for guys, you know, these days they have a lot of things. But that was one of the essence of fraternities when fraternities were created until they were, you know what, they were hijacked and all that. So guys too, you need to learn to understand the value of relationships wherever you are. Then longevity. The more you're able to build relationships, the more you're able to increase your lifespan. Once you're able to enjoy quality relationships, you're able to, you know, increase your lifespan. In fact, they said for elderly people, when elderly people are able to have younger people around them who they can talk with, share with, you know, it increases, it helps them to live long. And it cuts across every area, whether it's in a business setting, whether it's in a social gathering, whether it's in the family setting and all that. It's very, very important. Okay, so we're going into now the crux of the conversation for today. Now, when it comes to building quality relationships and being sure that as a wealthy person, you harness relationships. Remember I said that if you're poor with people, you're actually poor as a person. Because most times, most of the answers you need are what wrapped up in people. So even the good book, I'm a Christian and by my faith, the Bible says that, you know, when you give, good measure, pressed down, shaking together, shall do what? Shall what? Men. So even when God wants to bless you, who does he use? He uses men. Either way, whether it's a job that they paid you salary, she is somebody that owns the company, right? And is making money and you has allowed you to work there and you're earning salary, right? Whether it's a business, a customer has to come and buy from you, and if they are buying from you, you are doing what? You are making profit. Whether it's a professional training, somebody has to train you now, right? So in every of these things, people are very important. In fact, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to be the best at everything that you do. If you know how to harness people, you can become anything you want to become by maximizing relationships. And I'm going to be talking about that later on in this slide, especially because I'm seeing a lot of young people here and all that. Now, the quality of your relationship begins with you. Should I say that again? If you want to have amazing relationships that you want to enjoy and have the best of, it doesn't start with looking at other people. It doesn't start with expectations from other people. It starts with looking at yourself. Now, a lot of times when we get into relationships, the first thing that comes to mind is what? What is in it for? What am I getting from this person? And it could be emotional, it could be financial. Do you understand? It could be a form of support. It could even be intellectual. It could even be professional development and all that. But it doesn't start with the other person. It starts with you. So if you're going to be a wealthy person that builds effective relationships, one of the first things you must look at is self-awareness. What do I mean by self-awareness? You need to understand yourself. You need to know you to be able to harness relationships effectively. And why is that important? You come into relationships with the value that you bring to those relationships. So if you want to remain relevant and you want to be able to enjoy the most of relationships, you don't first come in with what people would give you. You come in with the value that you're bringing to people. So it was John Maxwell that was talking about the issue of self-esteem. You know, if you're somebody that is struggling with a low sense self-esteem or sense of, and I'm going to talk about that shortly. He says the first thing you do when you enter a room is not focusing on how people perceive me. You know, one of the things about people with low self-esteem is that there's so much focus on how people perceive me. And because you feel that people's perception of you is poor or low, what happens is that it affects your own perception of yourself. So you don't walk into a space or an environment, first of all, thinking about how will they see me? How am I dressed? Is this my shoe fine enough? Do I fit into this place? No. You enter into a space first of all, thinking about what is the value I can bring here. What is that gap that is here that no other person can feel, but I can feel based on who I am? And it says when you're able to do that a lot, you will find it easy to get involved in spaces and integrate, because it changes the whole mindset. It puts you in a place of power. It puts you in a place of capacity, because there's something you know you're bringing. So now when we now begin to say, looking at self-awareness, we have to now study ourselves. And there are things you must understand if you're going to have great relationships. So Napa was speaking today, and she said that if you're dealing with issues of, insecurity, poor foundation, low self-esteem, you come from a background where you feel you didn't have enough, or you're not good enough, or you don't measure up, automatically it's going to affect how well you're going to be able to pursue your dreams. Now I'm going to bring it back here to relationships. If there are gaps in these areas I'm going to list out now, it will automatically influence your relationships negatively. And so you will not get the most out of people to help you advance, whether it's to pursue your dream or live a meaningful life, or to, make an impact or achieve something that you want to achieve. Now, the first thing is your identity. When we want to look at ourselves and build self-awareness, the first thing is your identity, or what we call your sense of worth or your sense of value. And you need to take out time to study this for yourself personally. What is the essence that I carry? What is the value I bring into the space? I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere. And that's why if you keep living your life comparing yourself with other people, you will always fall short. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, there will be more finer girls. There will be more intelligent people. There will be more richer. There will be more wealthier. If you build your identity on things like this, you will always fall short, because you will always see people that are what? That are better and are more advanced. So the focus is, what is unique to me that I bring into my space? Now the understanding of that value and the source of that value is very, very critical for you as you begin to engage relationships. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Napa is not here. Napa is not just, I know, let's put our hands together for Napa once again. It was an amazing session. Napa is not just a senior colleague to me. Napa is also family. She's actually my sister-in-law. So I know my name. I can never beat Napa when it comes to slides. You can see my slide. You can see, I know my name, that I can't be bothered about my slide presentation and Napa's own. Why? It's a strength for Napa. It's not mine. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I know that there are certain conversations that if you bring me on board, I know this area, no, just bring me here. I'm comfortable in this space. Whenever you bring me in this area. So it's the same thing. So what is your self-worth? What is your identity? What's the value that you carry? Do you know? If you don't know, you will start struggling with insecurity. And once insecurity shows up, it will affect how you relate with people. So what happens is that you feel that you fall short, and you are not able to do what? To connect with people, because what? You feel you don't have value that you're adding. Now, I want to say something. Every one of us has value. Every one of us has something unique about us. Every one of us has a sense of essence. You just need to find it. You do understand? And if you're a human being, for me, I'm a Christian, my own sense of essence, the source of my sense of essence is God. And there are things that I carry. So for me, anywhere I find myself is growth. It's good. Whether it's a person or an individual, how can this thing move from here to the other place? When I come into a space to meet with somebody or do anything, I can't have a conversation with you and leave that conversation at where it is. What can it be done to be better? I was telling Diane when I came in this morning, I was asking certain questions. What about this? What about this? What about that? And I said, I'm supposed to be a speaker, but I'm acting as a member of WiCare. Sorry, let me switch back my role and remain where I am. So then the next thing is your strengths and your weaknesses. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? Your strength is what you bring to the table when you come into relationships. Your weaknesses shows you what you don't have, and how to embrace that from other people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't be everything. You can't have everything. So you know that if in this area is not where I'm strong in, I know where to get the help that I need in that area. So then the next thing is your mindset. What is your mindset about life? Now, when I say mindset, what do I mean? I mean, What is your perception to life? How have you been programmed in your thinking to think about life? And it cuts across every area of life, whether it is business, whether it is work, whether it is academics or whatever. Now, your mindset about people would definitely affect the quality of your relationships. When you see people, what do you think? When you hang around people, what comes to mind? Do you see people as a means to an end? Do you see people as a nuisance? Or do you see people as people that have value that you can harness? Personally, I believe that everybody around me has something unique about them that they bring to the table. In fact, the reason why the world is not balanced is that a lot of people are not living from their essence. The more and more people find their purpose, the more we're able to do what? Live life from our best. So what's your mindset about people? And it cuts across. For example, if you're going to start a business today, your mindset about people when it comes to business will automatically affect how you relate to people in your business. And it will automatically affect the culture in your business. So if you see people as part of my team required to grow this business, though I'm the head of this organization, I'm the CEO, I don't have all that it takes. Going back to strengths and weaknesses. But I know that people have what I need that I need to make up. So when I'm recruiting people, first of all, I look for people that fill in my weaknesses as a leader. I don't bring everybody that is like me into my business. That's number one. Then number two, I see people as part of my team. So when I understand that I don't know everything, if that's my mindset and I can learn from others, it means that the culture in my business is one that people are open to do or to share ideas. I allow people share ideas. I allow people express themselves. But if I see people as a means to an end, I am Oga here, Lord, Master, Boss, CEO. I am the law, the beginning and the end. I am the law. Anything I say does what? Stands. Nobody else says anything. What's going to happen in that environment is that you're going to have an environment where people are not allowed to express themselves. Now, if you're dealing with insecurity, when you now see a very highly intelligent professional working with you, you see this guy, he's doing results, he can speak, he can enter into places that you can't enter, your insecurity begins to what? Begins to rise. And you begin to see that person as a what? As a threat instead of an asset, right? So instead of harnessing that person, knowing your place in leadership and staying there and harnessing the strength of that person to work for, what do? You start fighting that person. Has happened because of your insecurities and areas you have not dealt with. You are now beginning to have problems. So when you begin to see that relationship wise, you're always having issues with people. In every space there is always, don't go and start telling yourself, it's them, they have a problem, I need to get them out. No. First of all, slow down and do what? Look inwards. Why am I, especially when it's becoming consistent across both. Everybody, you cannot please everybody. Everybody cannot be your friend. We're going to look at that shortly. But if you now have a way where you're having issues with people, then it's no longer people. It's what? It's you. It's, the Bible says, he that will have many friends must do what? Must first show himself friendly. You must be able to connect with people for people to want to do what? To stay with you. Now, if you don't deal with these things and these limitations that can interfere, then they become a problem. Then the next thing is your values. What are your values? And this is so crucial to relationships. Values are your convictions and your priorities in life. What are the things that are important to you? Because one of the things that value does for you is that it tells you who you can go with and who you cannot go with. You cannot work with everybody. You cannot connect with everybody. And then sometimes when we don't define our values, what happens is that we live a life that is filled with confusion and inconsistency. So in relationship building, where, for example, when you understand your values, one of the things you have to understand when it comes to relationships, to enjoy relationships, is to build healthy boundaries. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are you should be able to create boundaries where people can cross. Different kinds of relationships, you have different boundaries they have around you. Now, when you don't understand your values and you don't know what your priorities are and you don't know what your convictions are, different people come into your life and they throw different things at you and you become somebody who is modeled up by different people. Anytime you are in a relationship that keeps putting you under pressure to compromise on your values, that is a relationship you should think twice about. Now, when we talk about values, we say that values are things that are very, very important to you, and that because they are important to you, they define how you live your life. So, for example, one of my values is integrity. One of my values is God. One of my values is family. Recently, one of the values I added to my values is peace of mind. So, anything that will tamper with my peace of mind, I don't care the space, I don't care how much money I'm making from there, it's a no-no. If I stay in this space too much and every time I'm here, I lose my sense of peace of mind, I'd rather do without than lose my peace of mind. Then integrity is important to me. Do you understand? And so it's not just about what I do, but how I do it. So I value integrity so much that I would not compromise. Do you understand? Especially when it comes to dealing with people or doing business with people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, the good thing about that is that with that level of self-awareness, I know who I can work with. Do you understand? Another value I have is people. So, for example, I want to start a business, and I'm going to be using business as an example because we're talking about the wealthy woman or career. I want to start a business. And a lot of times, a lot of people who go into business partnerships make this mistake. So, we want to start a business. I get a founding partner, and I bring a partner based on the skill set he has or the money that the person is bringing to the table. So the person has money, I have the idea, and we become partners and we start a business. However, our values are not aligned. And so as the business begins to go forward, the crisis now begins to start. What happens? So this person believes in capacity building for the team. I believe that if I'm working with people, I should invest in training and capacity building for my staff. They should be able to learn certain things and grow. This other person believes that once I have paid you salary, I have done what? I have paid you. The only thing I owe you is what? Salary. You know what's going to happen when they get into the business? They're going to start having clashes when it comes to policy. You know who is going to be the victim? The HR manager. Why? Our values are not aligned. This person believes that when we make more profit, we should reinvest the profits to grow the business. This person believes that the essence of making money is to flenjo. Once we make the money, let's put a lot of money. So the person likes to live large, likes to throw parties, and does not understand how to separate business money from personal money. So I have to maintain a particular lifestyle. So I'm dipping my hands into the capital of the business to sustain a lifestyle. Meanwhile, the other person is saying, no, I'd rather practice delayed gratification so that my business can grow. You know what is going to happen in that organization? You're going to have a clash of what? Of people. There will always be fights. So you see, when you see orgas fighting, sometimes what is triggering the challenge is not just the distance, it's the values that they have. And then your emotional makeup. How emotionally whole you are will affect the kind of relationships that you're going to have. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're struggling with rejection, you're struggling with low self-esteem and all that, automatically your relationships will be interfered with. Now, how do we now maximize relationships in building wealth as women? Very, very important. So the first thing is that you must identify the different relationships that you're in. You must be able to define relationships in your life. What is this relationship and what is this relationship about? If it's a business relationship, define what this business relationship is about. What exactly is this person doing here? What is my responsibility to this person? What is this person's responsibility to me? And how do we maximize this relationship in such a way that it is very beneficial to us? So you must identify your relationship. Is it personal? Is it professional? Is it business? And is it social? Then in managing your heart, and this way I'm going to explain and wrap up. In managing your heart, you now look at interactions, roles, responsibilities, and expectations. Now, I will say something here. For the women, if you're going to be a wealthy woman and you're going to maximize relationships, first thing you must understand is that as a woman, you wear different hats. Should I say that again? Even for men, it applies to you. You wear what? You wear different hats. Your ability to step into those different hats, identify your role and your responsibilities in those hats, separate them, and manage expectations there will determine how well you sail through your relationships. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for example, as a woman, personally, I wear different hats. So I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I'm a business consultant. I am a pastor. So when they call me pastor, pastoring is not all I do. It's a hat that I wear. Do you understand? I am a trainer. Do you understand? Then I also volunteer with social enterprise organizations to provide capacity building for people. Now, in these different hats, I am different people here. Sometimes the mistake we make is that we duplicate roles across these hats. Do you understand? So number one, if you am a wife, I am a CEO, I own my own business. And when I'm a CEO, I am the boss, right? I lead a team, I give directions, I get them to do what they need to do, right? When I come into the family setting where I'm a wife, you know what I do? Drop the CEO. What did I say? If you don't understand this, a lot of people have gotten into trouble because of this. Drop the CEO hat. So some people come into the home front and they are wearing CEO hats. So the way you expect people to treat you in the office is the way you expect them to treat you at home. That's not true. So if you are married, if you say married and you're married, your husband is in your office, you are the what? When you're at home, you are no longer somebody else is the boss. And in that boss, the person has the leadership and you serve that leadership. Then if you have children, you're what? Mother. So at that point, you are not consultants. You are not carrying laptops and then you're not dealing with children as if you are dealing with your colleagues in the office. They are your children. Now, in this setting, what are my responsibilities here? What am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to do it? And what do they expect from me? Do you understand? So you look at everything you have to do within that space, and then you look at the relationships you have, and you look at the interactions there, and you look at the expectations of you within that space. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if you are not married and you're a single person, I would want to put this advice out there. Please let me know my timing and how much time I have. You know, if you're a single person, okay, if you're a single person, especially I see a lot of young people here, you know, and, you know, as we want to grow in our, whatever we want to do, pursue our dreams and want to pursue our careers. Now, I would not advise that in building your relationships, that you should be looking at an intimate relationship at this point. Do you know why? Especially if the relationship is not leading to marriage. Do you know why? Do you know why? Sustaining relationships is draining. It takes work to sustain a relationship. How many of us have been served breakfast before? What did it do to you? It did what? It took your energy. So you don't know, the energy you're supposed to put into your academics. Be focused on your purpose. Build your life. You're channeling it into servicing a relationship that probably you've not even built the emotional maturity and capacity to handle. So sometimes at a certain stage of your life, it becomes a distraction, especially if you've not built the capacity to put it in its own heart and leave it there. So when it's time to spend time with this person, I am spending time with this person, and then I know this is and then when I leave this person, I am going to focus on my schoolwork, or I'm going to focus on what I need to do. So you are in school and you are in class and you are chatting a guy saying how much I love you and how much I care about you. Meanwhile, in that space, your focus, the environment you are in at that time is a learning environment. The relationship you're interacting with is your fellow students, your lecturer, and you're supposed to be learning. So you must be able to, as a person, do you understand what I'm saying? To understand how to maximize relationships and remove the ones that are distracting for you at that stage of your life. So if you're not ready to build, if you know you can't build all these things you need to build, then there's no point. You see most of the pictures Napa was showing us today. You know what happened there? They are young people. So a lot of times as young people, we have the mindset that we have to get to a certain age before we start doing certain things. That's not the idea. So you need to be able to do what? To focus. When you get into the workspace, there are relationships and there are hats that you're wearing there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is you have your bosses, you have those under you, you have those, your colleagues, you have those under you. There is a way you're supposed to be doing what? Relating with them. So you must understand the different hats you wear and how those hats operate. For example, I am in a social environment now. This is WeCare. I am not the head of WeCare. Right? Who is the head of WeCare? Miss Diane. means that while I am CEO in my own company, when I enter into WiCare, what am I? I'm a guest. I'm a member of a team. Who is the leader? So she decides how she wants to run. They have their... So when you join an organization, so there are policies, there are ways that they do things there. I tell people, you don't come into a space and just try to change everything because you feel that it does not align with what you need to do. If you work like that, you always have problems with people. So you get into a space, you must understand the interactions there, understand the boundaries that exist in that place, and then begin to maximize them as much as you can. Now, when you have understood yourself, when you have understood the different hats that you're wearing, because of time, I have to wrap up. When you've understood the different hats as you're wearing, as a wealthy woman, you're able to ensure that your relationships is balanced. So the fulcrum or the height when it comes to relationship management for the wealthy woman is what? Is balance. And balance means that, first of all, you're self-aware. You understand the different environments you are interacting with. You understand your role and your responsibility. And you understand what you're supposed to, and also understand the expectations that you're supposed to get from them. Now, finally, I want to say this. In building relationships, everybody is not supposed to be your friend. You cannot work with everybody. Do you understand that? You can't work with everybody. Everybody is not supposed to be your friend. You must know those that you can go with and those that you cannot go with. And then secondly, if you're somebody who is struggling with pleasing people, you can't also please everybody. So when you see the wealthy woman, she knows her essence. She knows the value that she brings. She's independent enough to take ownership for her decisions and her choices, without being dependent on people to be able to do what? To get emotional. So you take responsibility for yourself. You take responsibility for your action. You do what you want to do because it's right, not because external factors are what? Influencing your choices. Do you understand? And then you harness relationships to benefit you. Now, as you are in, for those of us still in school, now that you are in school, it's the most amazing time to start building relationships. When you get into a space with people, don't just walk past people and walk away. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you get into a space with people, look at people and try to build connections. You don't know whether that person you're sitting with tomorrow is going to be the next president. Is going to be the judge. So treat people well, be nice to people, be kind, leave your best foot forward every time you interact with people. Give people your best fashion. Give them something positive to remember you for. Leave a positive impression in their emotional bank. When you cultivate the habit of doing this around the different relationships you interact with, you will always be at the advantage. People will always find a reason to always want to keep interacting with you and generate from the value that you give them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Please put your hands together again for that. Please, I need a mic to be passed across there. See, I really appreciate you, ma, because the time is not enough to deal with this kind of relationship. Is a very broad topic, and she tried as much as she can to put inside this 30 minutes or so what has to do with our relationships with our family, our relationships with ourselves, our relationship with our workplaces, and the pata of them all, our relationship in the romantic, intimate way, right? And I don't care who that woman is, whether she has risen to the highest of heights. Many times when you sit 5 women down, even if they discuss all the businesses that there's no how that you will not hear at least one person say, something that has to do with the heart. And one of the things I have personally experienced is that when your relationships are suffering, your finances are suffering. A woman who's not whole in her heart will most times be struggling in her career. She will come in presentations that she will normally present before better. She messes it up. The studies that you're supposed to study, you have used the whole night to cry because of breakfast, like she said it. So I hope you took notes. I hope you have your questions ready. I really want 2 people to take questions, to ask questions concerning this session. before we go into that, while she was speaking, I saw some people coming. Can we put our hands together for the WeCare women? WeCare women, we see you. We see you, the main people of the main people. We appreciate you. And also, we want to appreciate everyone who came from outside Lagos. If you came from outside Lagos, can we see you? Can we appreciate you? If you came from outside Lagos, yeah, put your hands together. Our representatives from the different parts of the nation, we see you, we love you, and we hope that today, benefits why you came all the way to this event in Jesus' name. Amen. And I don't know, I saw someone sitting in this room beyond the people who were part of the team preparing. I think it's this lady in purple. You were the one sitting here at the beginning, right? You were the first person to come in here, aside the team. Can we put our hands together for someone who has respect for time? Please stand up. You are worthy of recognition. You are not clapping. Are you jealous? Thank you so much. I really said I would appreciate her because when time is given for an event, we need to respect that. Okay, so I'm going to read a few things I learned, and I'm going to ask 2 people to tell me what they learned, and then 2 other people to ask questions. She said something about the fact that when you come into an organization, because many times you talk about relationships when it comes to boy-girl. But what about your relationship with your colleagues at work or colleagues in school? When you come into a place, understand how that place works. And I have learned a personal lesson. Even if you are the most intelligent person in the room, read the room. Understand what the place is like. Understand the people that you can even become friends with so that you can influence that system. That's one thing that stood out for me because I'm a woman in the career space. Again, she said something to us women, and I'm going to ask a question from there. When you are CEO in the office and everybody is dobalaying for you, greeting you, they are hailing you, you are commanding money, and then you are married and maybe you are, according to your religion, you are supposed to be a submissive wife. Is it really easy? Let me throw the question. Is it easy? Yes? No? No? Yes? No? Maybe so. So I'm going to ask her a question from there, but before I go there, does anyone have anything they picked from that session you want to speak about? Be the first to raise your hand, and I might later. Okay, you'll have a question. Sorry. Do you have anything you want to speak about from that session? Who took notes? You have a question? Yes, her own session. Everything she talked about, did you pick anything that stood out for you? I hope the people pressing their phones are posting on our Instagram pages and tagging WEEF 24. I hope you're posting on your Twitter. It's X now, right?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So thank you very much, Ma. It was indeed a wonderful session. One thing that I learned from a session, in fact, I love hearing her speak because, this relationship thing does a lot of things to me, is the fact that you should identify the different acts. Know that being a CEO, being a mother, and, the different parts, identifying the roles, and also dealing with self-esteem. When you come into a place, when you come into a relationship, one thing that can help us is to know what you're bringing in. That is going to make you step up. Most times when we'll go, you look at what every other person can bring, and you're thinking, I'm not, And when she was talking, when she was speaking, what I was thinking, okay, yes, there is something unique about me. If I go somewhere, I can really do it. First of all, let me bring that up in my mind. Let it be elaborate in my mind. And then your weaknesses are going to drop. That is a sum of thank you very much, ma'am.
Put your hands together. Self-awareness is something she picked. Know what your strengths are so that when you step into a room, you play from your strengths.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, I actually picked the relationship aspect. I, for one, am big with relationship. I value relationship a lot. And I understand that whatever thing you do, relationship helps you. Wherever you're going to, relationship helps you. The way you treat people while you meet them, the first impression, everything about you around people matters a lot. It helps you grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Relationships are important. You know, everybody say, I don't have anybody, or it's God. Sorry, someone is here. Can you give him? It's God I have, but someone says that man will always be God's method. Because if you have relationship with people, God can use them.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So when she was talking to us, she discussed about different type of relationships, but she didn't put emphasis on intrapersonal relationship. And intrapersonal relationship gives birth to depression if it's not steady. How about that? Because intrapersonal relationship, before we can relate with people and God itself, you have to relate with yourself. Give yourself the self-esteem and all. How about intrapersonal relationship?
Okay, well, when I listened, I heard her speak to that, except you did not. Did she speak to that? She talked about self-awareness. She talked about your identity. She talked about knowing your purpose. She talked about knowing what your strengths are, which is what she spoke to, except you want her to clarify on that better. But she spoke to it, right? And she said it that if you are not whole in yourself, every other part of your relationship will suffer. So maybe you didn't hear it clearly, but she did speak to that. Thank you so much for asking for clarity. So I have one question for you, Ma, because of time. One question. So we're talking about wealthy woman, and there are men in the room, right? This wealthy woman, we know, wealthy in emotions, wealthy everything, but we know that it ends up in money. Because even if you are holding your emotion, if the money is not there, many people will not recognize you as wealthy. So this is my question. I'll ask it is a two-pronged question. If you're a wealthy woman and you're a single wealthy woman and you are getting in a relationship with a man, he's not unwealthy, but you are wealthier than him. Right? Because we see these things, women come on Facebook, my husband say I should leave my job that's paying, my husband say I should pack up. How do you manage being a wealthy woman and being in a relationship, especially with whom you earn more than, or you are earning more than? How do you manage that kind of relationship?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I would answer that. Diana has asked me to also answer his question, so I'll go to that. Now, see, the whole idea around self-awareness is to also know what you're bound. Nothing wrong with being very wealthy and being wealthier than the person you're in a relationship with. It's our culture which has influenced our mindset that makes it look as if, okay, a woman must always be under. So first of all, you must understand that mindset is a cultural bias. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a cultural bias, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, the first thing I'll ask you to look out for first is that you must, based on your own self-awareness, knowing yourself that, okay, number one, I'm wealthy. It doesn't affect my perception of this person. It won't affect my ability to respect him, as long as we share a sense of purpose, his values are aligned, he has a sense of responsibility and all that. However, I will not deal with a man that is insecure just because I want to get married. So you must watch out for the person. If the person is not whole and has issues, that's the same way, you know, the end point, when we talk about emotional intelligence starts with you. We say self-awareness, we go to self-regulation. So now that I know myself, how do I want to now begin to interact with my environment based on who I am? And then with that understanding, I start building social skills. Now I'm able to define how I want to interact with my environment. How do I relate with people? And then the end point for emotional intelligence is relationship management. How do I manage relationships? So number one, if the person is insecure, please don't continue. Should I say that again? If the person is insecure, don't continue, because no matter what you do, the reason why the person would attack what you're doing is not about you, it's about the person. So it's an internal problem going on within. Now, if it's something you can bring the person to awareness of, then that's fine. If not, do you understand? Then you know you have to take a walk. Now, if it's not a question of insecurity, but I have more resources and I have to manage my relation, then it goes back to my values. That's when we now talked about values and all that. Now, what do you actually want in a relationship? What do you actually want in a man? If it is important to you that whoever you're getting married to must achieve more than you are achieving, and you have your reasons for that, then it means that when you're looking at relationships, you make it a major important factor. However, if your relationship, if your values for relationship is companionship and all that, then you make it a priority. You know that this is why I'm getting into a relationship, and focus on those priorities. Now, the next question becomes, how do you now manage perception? How do I manage this person's perception in such a way that this person does not feel, do you understand, insecure? That is where now communication comes in. We must talk about it. I will ask you those questions. I will like, how do you deal? You can see that this was going, how are you willing to deal with it? There must be a conversation. Then you must understand the person. So the person says, I don't care how far you go. Like, I'm more outgoing than my spouse. I'm more visible than my spouse. And he doesn't stop me from doing anything I'm doing, as long as I don't neglect the home front. So if he doesn't mind if he has to cancel one or two appointments so I can meet up with some of my speaking engagements, because we have certain guidelines we have when it comes to raising our children. We are more hands-on with our kids than having support system to do that for us. He doesn't mind stepping back for me to, do you understand? But I don't come back home. I don't now start chasing those things. And once I am back, do you understand? I take back my place and I do what I'm supposed to do. So for both of us, as long as that is happening, he's fine. It doesn't matter whether you're all over the place. Just recognize that this is family. This is your home. When you come back here, it's what you're supposed to be. So when I talk about heart, see, when it comes to identity, you must separate yourself from your wealth and your business. You must be an individual. And that is why I talked about self-awareness. So this is how I see it. My name is happiness. Anywhere you talk to me, I am happiness. Happiness is a wife. Happiness is a mother. Happiness is a business person. Happiness is a consultant. I don't wear motherhood as a tag on my head. You know, so we are talking about business. Some people is married, they wear it as a tag. So I'm a wife. Because I'm a wife, I have to be in a particular way. No. I am a woman, happiness, who happens to be what? A wife. So when I am in my wifely role, which is in my home and my relationship with my husband, what do? I put on the wife hat. I know what my responsibilities are at my wife, and I deliver it then. When I get to my children, I am a mother. My kids, my first son is taller than me. When we go out together, I don't wear the tag of mother. I can talk with a teenager. I can talk with a single person. I can relate with a child. I'm an individual. I can relate with these people. And then because what happens is that we take a particular hat and now make it our identity. So it now starts interfering with the other spaces where you find yourself. That is what you must avoid. Then when I'm a CEO, when I get to my business, I am a CEO. I work with my colleagues. I work with my team. When I get into certain social gatherings, I might be a CEO, but I have a mentor. So when I meet with my mentor, that's not when it's time to carry my portfolio and sound like, oh, do you know I'm this? No, it might be for my mentor. I'm someone that needs to learn something. There's some my mentor knows that I don't know. So I bury all the other things I have and I focus on what the goal of the mentor-free relationship is. And I do what? I embrace it and I harness it. So for a wealthy woman, that wholeness that I am first this person, my identity does not come from my money. Because when your wealth now begins to interfere with your relationship, it means that you are beginning to have identity issues. You are beginning to derive your sense of worth from those resources. And it's going to become a problem because you now start associating with everybody based on what I have. If you go into your family space, you are a daughter. So you can still be a CEO, a wealthy woman, and still help go to your house and serve your father and serve your mother. It doesn't change who you are, because these things are external. It is your essence that defines who you are and what you do. Do you understand what I'm saying? So once you're able to do that differentiation within you, life becomes easy. You can manage the money and the money does not have you. Because what if that money goes? What happens? Do you now lose your way? Yes, so there are fluctuations in life. Do you understand? So if you build identity on that money, what the day the money is no longer there, that means, because if you are no longer CEO and you are no longer doing that company, that means that is the day you are not CEO. That's when you can respect your husband. While you are CEO, you cannot respect him again. Does it mean you cannot have arguments? No, you can. You can share your points, but still within the boundaries of the expectations of that environment where you are engaging in that relationship. Do you understand? Now, going back to your question. So like I said, before you begin to engage relationships, you have to first of all deal with yourself. And I said that, one of the ways I said that is that if you struggle with interacting with people a lot, you need to stop looking externally. You have to start looking internally. Now, when you're looking internally, what you're looking at is why. So I have people who struggle with trust, who are very suspicious. If you're somebody who came from a background where there was a lot of rejection, there was a lot of verbal abuse, there was physical abuse, and all that, it's already a trigger that it can interfere with your ability to do what? To relate with other people. So the first thing is that when we talk about people who are very good with relationships and good with self-awareness, they do a lot of self-reflection. So you don't let things or circumstances pass you by. When you go through certain experiences, take out time to understand what has just happened. So I had a major challenge with the relationship. I tried to debrief myself. What went wrong here? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Sometimes you don't have enough insight on your own to be able to, debrief yourself to find out what are the things going on. Do I have limiting beliefs? Am I whole in myself? Do I have a very good self-esteem? There are assessments online that you can actually use to assess yourself. Self-esteem assessments. There are some of them online. You might need a counselor. You might need to talk to somebody. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, observe yourself. When you are angry, why am I angry? When I'm happy, why am I happy? When I'm able to connect with this person, why am I able to connect with this person? When I'm not able to connect with, why am I not able to connect with this person? As long as you keep doing that internal reflection with yourself and begin to analyze experiences and encounters with people and relationships, it becomes easier to understand yourself better and be able to harness relationships that you are engaged in a lot better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. Put your hands together. I told you relationships is a very broad topic, and if we start today, we know go. But we appreciate you, Ma, and we thank you. I could see a lot of faces, and some people were behaving like they were conducting deliverance on them. And this is why we are here. We appreciate you, everyone who asked questions. And please, if I forget, if I promised you a gift, if you're part of the people who danced, if I promised you a gift before the end of this event, remind me, call my attention. We keep our promises. We are WEEF. We keep our promises. Okay, so a few housekeeping things to go on before we go into the next presentation. Okay, so we had a presentation by Miss Efe Ihege. So she said I should announce. Anyway, everybody, let me stand in the middle so that you... Now, you know that they are career consultants, and you know that part of career consulting is that they can help you fix your CV, write your CV, so that you can be employable. Now, usually, if you come to them on a normal basis, this service costs 50,000 naira for you to get their services of CV writing, CV curating. But she says she has an opportunity here today to help 5 people who will come first to write their CVs totally for free. I think they need a round of applause. So if you need your CV, if you've been applying for jobs and you've not been getting, maybe it's your CV that is a problem, you can meet them at their stand. They are downstairs at their stand. They will help you curate your CV all for free. Usually this is supposed to cost 50,000 naira. Now the second thing is, if you are not yet taking pictures, please bring out your phone, take selfies, take Aussies is all of us. Take selfies, take pictures of the environment. Please post on your Instagram pages, on X, so that's how they call it, Abi, X. Please tag WEEF24, WEEF 24. That's our hashtag WEEF24. You can tag WiCare Network on Instagram. Please post on all your social media platforms and mention us, and we will definitely probably follow and repost your post. I want to be sure that I have all my announcements taken care of before we go into the next thing. Yes, if you have not registered, if you could not register when you came in because you were rushing to come into the hall, the media, please can you put up the the QR code. You can scan this code so that we can confirm your attendance, so that if we have any more information for you, any event that we're having that we need to invite you for, we can have your contacts, and we'll make sure that you are reached. Yeah. I think that's all for my announcements. Thank you so much. We're going to take a presentation. She's been waiting to present. Are they around? Are they around? Let me make sure that the people that are doing the presentations are around. So, ladies and gentlemen, this WEEF 2024, we have WEEF the Future come to do the presentation. Heavenly and Miss Diane, as they come up for their, put your hands together so that they'll be, Heavenly is tired of waiting for this presentation. So please put her in the mood with your clap and your shout. Heavenly and Miss Diane, I need another mic here, please. Heavenly, are you coming? Okay.
Hello, everyone. So I said I was going to tell my story much later when I gave my welcome address. The story is about my life. So in 2015, my spouse passed away. And while he died, I had a baby. I was carrying a baby. And that's Heavenly. So she was 8 weeks old when her dad passed away. But I want you to be the person to judge how well she's doing today. So please, can we have, okay, please be on your, we're going to do this song together because you're a wealthy woman. Can you look to your right and your left as you are up on your feet to say, I am a wealthy woman. I cannot hear you. Okay, for the guys are looking around, but I'm not. Just say, I'm a wealthy man. I mean, you don't want to be wealthy. You don't want to be wealthy. Oh, he's wealthy already. Say, I'm a wealthy man. Correct. The women are catching it. Are we ready, Uncle Sammy?
Pressed but not crushed. It didn't kill me, but it made me stronger. Scarred but untouched. The pains of my past became a reason to be stronger. It hasn't been a bed of roses. I had my share of life's bitter doses, but I keep on holding on, standing tall like a mighty wall. We are winners. Wonder Women, we will keep on winning cause we are WeEF. We are strong, never giving up. We got our heads up. We are one of a kind, full of strength and pride. By God's grace, we are taking giant strides. We are strong, we're the best of the best. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable.
Mirror, mirror, on the wall.
On the wall.
Who's the fairest of them all? You, beautiful woman, with every pain, you grow stronger. With every lesson, you grow wiser. You're a force, Sorosuke. Voice of the voiceless, you are light.
You were light.
We by day, warrior by night. Intellectual, phenomenal, intentional, yet spiritual. Mirror, mirror, on the wall. Who's the fairest? You're the one!
We are winners, Wonder Women. We will keep on winning cause we are strong, never giving up. We got our heads up. We are one of a kind, full of strength and pride. By God's grace, we are taking giant strides. We are the only one. We're the best of the best. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. We are winners, Wonder Women, beautiful women, strong women, powerful women, strong women.
We are winners, Wonder Women. We will keep on winning good. We are strong, never giving up. We got our heads up because we can.
Thank you.
Please, these hands are not sounding loud. Make some noise for Heavenly and Miss Diane. Heavenly featuring Miss Diane. Jam your hands together for her again. If you think it's easy, come and rap. Thank you so much, love. Wow. Bumps all over you. I do. I mean, I feel like I can take the world. And the way she came out smiling, you better let go of anything that's holding you back.
Oh, yeah, you can follow her on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is Ligi Creates. Ligi Creates. Thank you. Okay, they'll put it on the screen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please put your hands together for Miss Diane. You heard that story. She was 8 weeks when her dad passed, but she's done such a great job raising such a phenomenal child. We celebrate you, Miss Diane. We're celebrating you. Please celebrate her like we're celebrating her now. All right. We have one more presentation. It's a dance presentation by Miss Angel. Please put your hands together as she comes forward. Please clap when people are coming to present. Do it like WEEF. Clap. We celebrate people. Please keep clapping. Her name is Angel. What an angelic presentation that was. Some people are in such a wonderful mood right now. How do you feel? How do you feel? Someone said hungry. All right, don't worry. You shall be fed in Jesus' name. All right. It's been a great time. Are you enjoying yourself? Are you learning? Do you see yourself getting better? Are you a wealthy woman? You don't sound like it. Are you sure? Okay, let me know. Maybe the men came and hijacked this event. Are you a wealthy man? You see, the men are now getting it more than you. Are you a wealthy woman? All the wealthy women, make some noise. Wealthy on all sides. Wealthy in our emotions. Wealthy in our relationships. Wealthy in the bank accounts. All right. So it's been a great time. I'm learning. I told you, I'm not just a host. I take my own notes. I am learning because this wealth, we go wealthy. Our wealth is going to be wealthy. All right. So please help me make welcome for a brief exhortation. Mrs. Uzoma Ayodeji. She's a gender FGM analyst, I think with the UN. Please put your hands together. Welcome her. We love such women who come into the room and make impact on short notice. Put your hands together. Clap like you know that you're about to receive it.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really short notice, right? Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Diane. Thank you, everyone, all the speakers. Thank you so much for enlightening us. We've really been, taking in a lot, and it has really been profound. Thank you very much. So, like she said, my name is Uzoma Ayodeji. I'm the gender female genital mutilation analyst, working with United Nations Population Fund. I'm covering the Southwest. So like she said, I'm just here to encourage all, So today I just want to talk to you about the wealthy woman. Not just a woman with a lot of money, but a woman who is rich in every sense of the word. A wealthy woman is confident. She's courageous. She's compassionate. She knows her worth and values herself and others. She's a leader, a change maker, and a force for good. She's not defined by her wealth, but by her character, her heart, and her actions. She uses her resources to uplift others. So you can see what WeCare they are doing. They're using their resources to uplift other women. She makes a difference to leave a lasting legacy. She's a woman who has faced challenges and overcome them. She has learned from her failures and used them as opportunities for growth. She's a woman who lifts up other women. And we have the testimonies all over here in this room, testimonies of women that has, benefited from WeCare. So a wealthy woman does that. She creates opportunities for others to grow. She supports and empowers these women. She knows that when one woman rises, we all rise. So I want to leave you, with a challenge today. Be a wealthy woman, not just in terms of money, but in terms of spirit, heart, and character. Invest in yourself. Educate yourself and empower yourself. Use your talents, use your skills, use your resources to make a difference. So remember your worth, and remember that your worth, I think it was Pastor Happiness that mentioned it, she said, remember your worth is not defined by your wealth, but by your worth as a human being. You are enough just as you are. So you want to move from one point to another point. So you invest in yourself so that you move from where you are to where you want to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's rise together. Let's lift each other up. And let's become the wealthy women we were meant to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. Short notice, but such profound words, such deeply thought-provoking.
Run a private practice. So even as of yesterday, around this time yesterday, I was talking to a man and his wife, and also consult for organizations how to increase productivity by helping the mental health and emotional health of the employees. Because most of the time, what you are dealing with, no matter the emolument, no matter the remuneration, no matter the incentives, if somebody, for example, let's say somebody is working in an organization, someone has what they call erectile dysfunction, or is going through what they call sexless marriage, no matter the incentive, it's going to impact on his productivity in the workspace. So I help organizations, help their what we call employee assistance, in helping people putting their head in the right place, or finding where their head is, their heart is, in the light of what they are going through, and also in relationship, marriage, and family life. Because the family is the bedrock of every society. So goes the society, so goes what? So goes the family, so goes the society. Hello, are we together? So let's get into it. So I'm going to be speaking from that perspective because that's who I am. I'm a therapist, I'm a psychotherapist, and I use my background in psychology and psychotherapy to help people find clarity in their emotional and mental issues. Okay, so we're looking at the wealthy woman from the perspective of emotions, self-care, mental health. So I'm going to go to the first place. I'm going to also talk about understanding emotional wellness. Can you help me move it now? Understanding emotional wellness. Okay. Let's get into it. Emotional wellness involves understanding and managing your feelings, maintaining healthy relationships, and positively coping with life challenges. Now, the first thing I want to establish here is that you must understand. If I'm going to say, you are with me on this, very, very critical. I've seen people that have it all financially, materially. They are people of status. As I said, I'm a therapist, so I get to talk to people. But I've come to realize that in their lives, one aspect of their life is just awkward, their emotional life. And get every other area of their life messed up. So it's important that you follow what we are talking here. And managing your feelings. Number one, you must understand that you are in the core of the fabric of your being is emotions. You are a relational being. You are an emotional being. You are also a rational being. Data to relate. That was the reason during COVID-19 that there was everywhere lockdown, shut down. People were losing their minds because places for outlets. Maybe to church, to club, to wherever places they go, or social gathering, parties. People were losing their mind because they shut down. Because by design, you were not wired to live alone. You were not wired to be in a place. Let's go back to biology. How many of you remember this is of living thing? There's an acronym. How many of you remember? Oh, good. Please clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. Living being. That is, if you are a living being, the first thing you are supposed to do is to what? Move. Move. And if you look at it critically in biology, what's the definition of movement? But definition of movement, not that Mr. Niger, this simply means the ability of an organism to what? To move from one place to the other in search of food, or running away from danger, or to pursue a mate to be able to reproduce. So you see that talks about collaboration, collabo. It talks about relationship. We've talked a great deal about that. But it takes a relationship thrive on the platform of emotions. So there's a way this person makes you feel that just, fall in love, fall in love. I used to make a joke, fall in love. I just make joke of that. But you see, we're emotional beings. And you see, if you are not in touch with your emotion and how it relates, it plays out in your interaction with the opposite sex or with other people, you are going to be in a great deal of issue. So emotional awareness involves understanding and managing your feelings, maintaining healthy relationships, and positively coping with life challenges. True wellness is not just about financial success. We've been told that countless times since we came in this morning. It involves a holistic approach that considers emotional, spiritual, physical, and what? Mental health. I deliberately put a lot of words on this slide so that, because in the course of teaching at times, a lot lost, so that at least you can get to see one or two things. Each of these areas is interconnected. Your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health, they are interconnected, and neglecting any one aspect of this will negatively affect the other. And that is the truth. For me, in my private practice, where I get to sit with people individually for therapy session, counseling, professional counseling session, I see this play out time and over again. Okay, let me give you an instance. Referred a sister to me, and the sister, as of the time, why was she suicidal? Because her husband had cheated on her with probably several women. And when she got to know, it really affected and impacted her so much. You may say, wait now, you need to be in our shoe to understand what we're talking about. That the man you love so much, the man that professes love to you, that you exchange vow on your wedding day, just few years down the line, you're already having issues with another, not even a woman, with women. Now, because of that aspect of her life, it impacted on her life that she desired to die. I'm telling you, these things are serious. So that is why it's critical that you pay attention to this. Next slide. In a world where women are often expected to juggle multiple roles and responsibilities, you are faster than me, just a slide back, and responsibility, it's essential to recognize the unique challenges you face, in maintaining your health, your mental health, and emotional well-being. Women indeed face a lot of challenges. How many of you will agree with me about that? That women indeed face a lot of stuff. Guys, if you are here, you should listen too. Because if you understand the woman you are dealing with, most of the time I discover when people come to me in my private practice, the woman, they say, this is how this issue is doing me. And when you ask the man, say, we are fine. What is happening? They are just so unaware. And that's why I want to appreciate the men in the house. Please listen so that you can understand, because you need to understand the people, the gender you are dealing with. Another day will come for them to understand you too, but for today we want to deal with emotions from the women's perspective. Very, very important. Okay, so women's emotions, next slide. Women's emotions are complex. Some say complex. And they are influenced by a combination of three major things. Number one, biological, psychological, and social factors. So I'm going to be breaking down these three, how these three do affect men as well, but we're talking in the context of, and it's a very unique spectrum when we talk about women in terms of how biological, psychological, and social factors impact a woman's emotion and total wellness. Next slide. Now let's look at the three. The next slide, please. Biological influence on emotion, especially for women. For example, there's what we call hormonal changes. Women experience significant hormonal fluctuations throughout their lives, particularly during puberty, menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. Menopause is when a woman stops having her monthly menstrual cycle, probably in her late 40s, early 50s, thereabout. During pregnancy, have you heard about a pregnant woman waking her husband up around 2:30 a.m.? Say, I want to eat ikokore, or just cause some very strange food. I want oha soup. And okay, I want eko, I want moi elepo, akara elepo, I want a bean cake that is made with palm oil. Have you been wondering? Are you okay? Let me make you laugh. When I had my first daughter is 14, going to be 15 now. She's in her 15th year. And so when my wife was pregnant and she was about to deliver, because I've never experienced it as of that time, that's about going to 15 years ago now. So we were using General Hospital, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, because we want the best of all these specialists that can be available. Because I love my wife so much, I want her to be in good hands. You can say, I want to say it too. I love my wife. You see, my marriage is my marriage, your marriage is your marriage. So how you treat your marriage will determine what happens to you. So And I just discovered unconsciously, subconsciously, there's hardly any time I get opportunity to talk anywhere, I must first talk about my wife. Because I just love my wife. Is there any crime in that? So, but here she goes. We didn't know that it was not here. Just say, yeah, Mashuleo, don't poo-poo at home. Don't drop this baby here. Oh yeah, hospital, let's go. So I bundled her into the car. I didn't have a car then, self. So we took a vehicle, we got to the hospital. But we came too early, actually. So I was just pacing around. Because again, hospital, we are not permitted to enter the main ward. I was pacing. What's wrong with this woman? Deliver this thing, let go. What's happening now? From morning till later in the evening, till later in the night. She eventually delivered in the middle of the night. So eventually I said, how your wife have delivered? I said, oh, thank God I went there to say, oh, my wife, thank God. See the baby. Oh, you know. But my innocent mind, well, this took long now. I thought as if when you go to the toilet and somebody's at the door waiting for you to finish pooping. I said, why did it take you so long? I said, don't worry. You take me so if you notice we are suffering. Next time you'll be there, say, what happened? Me, 3.5 months. I will show you. I'll be there, life and direct. There's nothing that can happen. As God will catch me now, because I won't stay in one place. 2 years later, she was carrying another child. Fortunately, Lut was on strike. You know Nigeria now. If NASU is not on strike, ASU will be on strike. If ASU is not on strike, ASU will be on strike. If ASU is not on strike, NANS will be on strike. We are used to strike. So we're forced to now go use our private hospital for our HMO, our private hospital. So when we got there, this time around, I was permitted to enter into the hall with her. The wait or whatever place they call that place. I just called that. My wife would just be looking at me. The nurse would come and check. 1 finger, 2 finger. What's the meaning of all this? All this one, you're looking at my wife's under. What's all this now? You know, and I've been praying, oh God, no man will take delivery of my baby. No man. It must be a female doctor. No man. You don't understand. You don't understand. Oh God. It's a female doctor that will take delivery of my wife. Lo and behold, I just started my wife behave. You know, and because I'm also a pastor, they didn't read my profile. I'm also a pastor. So I can be very, very spiritually oriented. So when I just see my wife do, the contraction takes place. What's this? Because the previous time I was not there, I was making mouth. Now I was there. She will strangle my clothes. Thank God it was not button shirt. Because the whole button will have been. I said, are you okay? I was asking my wife, I said, when, I don't know whether I've ever somebody, if I have not been to a church where they do deliver, you see all this Nollywood, when somebody's demon possessed, the way the person manifests. So it was as if my wife was manifesting. I said, what's this? I didn't understand that it is called contraction. I want to run away, she would drag me back. Come here. Now you put on there. Eventually they said, okay, it's now 10 finger, whatever finger. The cervix is now open, let's go to the labor room. So by the time we got to the labor room, say push. That traumatic event, that one that happened in my life as of a 7-year-old, 8-year-old about, it impacted my emotions so much that, for example, the first thing it impacted was my self-esteem. Because when I got back to school after a long month of treatment, when I want to say something in class like, hello, who know the answer? And I raise my hand and say, put your hand down. Argument with a friend. I know children now. In a bid to win the argument, to show supremacy, they'll go personal. Somebody I'm trying to say here. For example, they say you are too dark, you are too tall, you are too slim. See your head, you have K-leg, you have leg. Have you seen people like that when they want to get at you, they look for something to get at you? For me, it was a physical scar. To some people, it's not even physical scar. You can't even see it, but it's an emotional scar. Maybe you were raped at a very young age. Maybe you were sexually assaulted. Maybe you were gang raped by boys on campus. Or maybe a brother came to the house and raped the woman in the presence of her husband. And this thing remained with people psychologically. It impacts them, those traumatic experiences. Now, Each time, now she's married, each time her husband wants to touch her for sexual, for their marital obligation in terms of sexual relationship as husband and wife, it triggers the woman because it reminds her it was how she can begin to have what they call frigidity, dryness in her genitals, and she can't successfully have sexual intercourse anymore with her husband. Some even run away from sexual intercourse, and it begin to impact on that relationship. Why? Because there was a trauma or a past experience. Hello. And see, these are factors that influence. So when sometimes husband and wife come to me and say, and I mentioned sexless marriage the other time. Can you imagine that about 16 to 18% of marriages are sexless? You know, why are people married? So people that say, see that girl, see that babe. Come and ask those of us and those that have been married. In fact, with this economy, when you remember the house rent, that the fuel is 800 naira, you switch off the gem. Yay! Every sexual arousal will jump out of the window. And we also remember that children are going to resume very soon. So what I'm trying to say is this: traumatic experiences, past experiences that is not dealt with, that people are not healed with, will influence their emotions. And we have a lot of women that are going about as damaged goods. Some of them, I want to say this, because as a therapist, when I get to meet people, I don't get to have counseling session with people until I do what they call pre-counseling assessment. It's a way to get to know you before I know you. So one of the things I test in that assessment is what they call ACEs, adverse childhood experiences in life, that says about 10 parameters: physical abuse, abuse, neglect, and household dysfunction. You can read it up on Google ACES. So we do that for assessment. Abuse. Neglect, talk about physical neglect, emotional neglect. Household dysfunction, talk about divorced or parent, maltreated parent, or a member of the family that was mentally ill, or a member that went to prison. So under those 10, if you the more anytime that your ACEs is high, your self-identification will be low. That is, your esteem will be low. Your attachment will be low. Attachment style. So these are all assessments that I do. But this is what I discovered. If I've ever counseled, let's say 10 women, I discovered that 9 to 9.5 of them always say yes to sexual abuse. It breaks my heart. No, I've seen it from younger women to middle age to even more mature women. They've all had one sexual abuse experience, either incest, rape, sexual harassment, or one thing or the other. It's like the female gender is like an endangered species as far as sexual issues are concerned. And these things are locked up in the subconscious of a lot of women, and they carry it into their marriage, they carry it into their relationships, and impart on the outcome of such engagement. So that's the kind of way psychological influences impart on the emotion of women. Self-esteem, body image. Rumination. Women have this capacity like ruminant animal that have chew cords. Abby has 4 compartment stomach. And that's why men at times are wondering, what's wrong with my wife? Your wife, at least at the story where a woman wake up her husband in the middle of the night. So what's it? We need to talk. Can't it be in the morning? No. What is it? And the woman is wondering, how can this man be sleeping? It's like the house is burning, you are sleeping. And in as much as not burn the roof, let's sleep small. And the woman is wondering, because women have this capacity to ruminate over issues, like ruminant animal that thoughts. So they can't sleep. And the reason not far-fetched. Let me serotonin. Serotonin is progesterone, vasopressin, testosterone, dopamine. And this serotonin is the main work of serotonin in your body is mood stabilization, just like a stabilizer for your electrical. If the current is low, the freezer will stabilizer. What will the stabilizer do? It increases the to it will not allow you to destroy your freezer. It will what? Bring it down. Serotonin is like that. But biologically speaking, women don't have serotonin in biology. It's part of the hormonal reality of a woman. So what it means is that they are ability to be stabilized. Serotonin is not much in women. That's why women are a little bit more agitated. So if you, as a man, you can now understand, okay, this is the reason why my wife is not though. Just that. But if you understand this thing, you won't know what to do. said the other time. They are more expressive. This is what is happening to me. Help me, by me. But begin to take it in. Amen shall die. So you will soon die. Nobody shall die. So what am I trying to say? Women have this capacity, and this influences your emotion because you ruminate on things a lot. Hello? Another one is emotional intelligence. Research finding has shown that women score higher when you do emotional intelligence assessment or test. Are you getting me? Okay. What do I do? Let me leave mental health. Let me jump to, okay. Go with me, an overview of the mental and emotional struggle commonly encountered by women across various age groups. Yes, let's I'll just run because of my time. An overview. So I want to break it down so you can have a better understanding. So number one, 12 to 18, the mental struggle and emotional struggle. I'm talking about mental struggle, so I've left mental health so that I can cover this. Mental struggle that an adolescence will pass through. So if you are within this age bracket, identity formation, self-doubt, insecurity. My children, when they come back from school, the 14 and 12, they just go and say, are you okay? They are stress, body image and self-esteem. At this stage of life, a lot of girls go through this. In fact, science have shown that from 0 to 10, thereabout, 12, this is another research finding, boy child and a girl child are at par, a level of confidence is at par. But from 14 years and above, the confidence level of girls found these things. The emotional stress in adolescence, mood swings, anxiety, worry. So you are wondering, why is my sister moody? Issues going on in a woman's body and mind will cause this one. Anxiety and worry. Relationship dynamics. Rivalry, father, mother, and the father, one boy is already telling you, I love you, you are like my chocolate in my cupboard, all sorts of things. Self-acceptance, trauma and loss in case anything like that happened. I lost my dad when I was about 16, 18, thereabout, and there's a way it imparts you. And as a girl child, it also imparts you further. Fear of failure, social media impact. These days and times, social media have put a lot of people under undue pressure, and they want to be like the Joneses. Transition to independence. That is, at this stage, you feel like an adult trapped in a child's body, and there's a lot of struggle. Ages 18 to 35. Mental struggles, they go through what they call quarter-life crisis. You always know about midlife crisis, but what they call quarter-life crisis as well. Self-discovery, because at this point in time, you are finding yourself. Independence. Career pressure, because at this point, you have just coming out of school, getting a job, trying to settle down. Financial stress. The emotional struggle go through at this level are relationship issues. This is where a lot of people get served breakfast, as Madam Happiness said the other time. I don't know who is serving lunch, but a lot of people get a lot of breakfast. Body image concerns as well. That's why self-esteem must transcend those external realities. Depression. One thing I see that recur in virtually all this level of growth of women is this issue of depression. It keeps coming back. Self-doubt and imposter syndrome. How did I get here? Am I sure I deserve this? Even when good things happen to them, going on in a woman's head. Social friendship, trauma, PTSD, because as of this time, an average girl, according to research, says that 3 out of 5 ladies have had one sexual engagement in terms of rape, harassment, or the other. So by the time you are 35, some already have had sexual harassment, rape, attempted rape, incest, maybe once or twice in their life. As I said earlier on in my own personal therapy, 9 out of 10 women, when I run assessment to them, they've always said yes to sexual abuse in one form or the other. So these are the kind, and these things do not go. They remain with people because we don't do something about it. Someone is raped, they take the person to the hospital to take care of the physiological realities, but nobody takes them for psychological evaluation, and that stays longer. Physical, somebody has been beaten black and blue. You see the scar, you heal the wound, but the scar is there. But the emotional psychological wound is even far deeper and ruthless than even the physical abuse that you see. Balancing responsibility, because you are not juggling between relationship, jobs, and things like that. If you look at midlife, age 35 to 50, they go through parental responsibility and caregiving, because at this point in time, you're either a mother now or a grandmother. Midlife crisis. They get to a point that say, is it all like out? You just wake up one morning, it's like everything just, is this all Iris? And this thing begin to impact your life. Career stagnation. I should have achieved more than this. Look at my mate, look at everybody going on. And this impact greatly. So for men also, there's what called midlife crisis. People go, experience. You come alumni of your alma mater for meeting. Suddenly this one come with G-Wagon. This one come with D-Wagon. That one come with Q-Wagon. And you're wondering, I come with foot. What happened to me? As if my life is nothing to write to me about. People go through a lot of struggles. I have to come to realize that I have to start looking out for my blood sugar. I'm in my 40s. Because before now, whether I like it or not, I can take coke, take anything where I like. But they don't bomb me where now. Because the reality is that the life I am now is about the midlife reality. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So when you understand this thing before, and it will help you to prepare yourself and be in a relationship. So I have to cut down things and be myself. So when I go to a party and they carry all sorts of things, I just look at it. Okay? Financial emptiness syndrome. At this point, your complex of a girl child being emotionally connected to her father, Oedipus complex, boy child being connected to his mother. But suddenly, this boy, you don't enter university, you don't say, again, you don't remember me again. And before you know, I'm not coming home after the holidays. What do you mean? I'm getting a job. What do you mean? I got a house. Emptiness syndrome. You need to feel. That's why you don't build your relationship or marriage around your children. Many people say relationship. It will soon you the reality. Because by the time you get to emptiness, it will remain you and that man or that woman. And whatever you have done, the relationship issue you have not addressed. Some people they divorce at 5 after 20 years of the marriage. You not be wondering, what were you doing 20-something years? They were waiting for the children to be independent. And at the end of the day, they were not working on their relationship, or they tried, one party is not the right thing. But at the time we come, we get to emptiness season, and look, I can't take this anymore. After all the children I'm waiting for, they're all gone now. And that's when men misbehave, understand it better. That it's in your whole day that you need your wife the more. So the way you treat her now will determine how she will treat you when you get to that stage. Emotional struggle, menopause, this point come in, hormonal changes, relationship. Late adulthood, 80 and beyond, at this point, aging and mortality begin to dawn on you. Because now, you are saying, okay, for it's given to man to be born once and to die once, at this judgment. Because now you are aging. Your body is telling you that you are no longer the kind of person, and you must take, like, care. We're talking about very, very important. So that you can elongate your life, so that you can have longevity, retirement, and purpose. At this point in time, you are no longer working. It's like everything is done. That's why some people, after they retire, they die quickly after they retire. Because there's no more activeness in their life, no more social contact with people. And their children are all traveled, and they're all alone. Chronic issues, financial insecurity. So these are things. For example, emotional loss, the day goes by. So let me talk about contemporary issues for women. As I type, women have a lot of emotional and psychological issues break down. Even though they're wealthy, have the status, but this is in their some contemporary place.